So today's day one of me talking to this camera. It's not really day one of me talking to the camera, but it's day one of me talking to y'all like this. This is Tuesday, March 10th. We are at Kenton's soccer practice, and every Tuesday and Thursday we're going to get on here and we are going to just chit chat. And that's going to get me comfortable with, number one, being on YouTube. That's going to get me comfortable with y'all being all up in my business. It's going to get me comfortable with, I'm really good on TikTok. I'm really good on Facebook, but YouTube is just a new space for me. And trying to attack YouTube partly is me coming out of not having a voice. Not necessarily not having a voice. I've always had a voice, but I silence myself between trauma, life, loss, embarrassment, jealousy, maybe envy, or jealousy or envy. I think it's envy. Envy. I just silenced myself. I was disappointed in myself. I was disappointed where I was in life. I was disappointed in the trajectory my life has taken. I was disappointed in who I chose as the father of my kid. I was disappointed in some of the choices that I made. It's been a year, but I used to smoke cigars or cigarettes. I used to say it was cigars because the pack said cigars, but it was really just a black cigarette. It reminded you of a black amount, but it was in cigarette form. A DeJourn Black Clove is what I used to smoke. And it's been a year and some change since I've smoked. So a lot of that had me embarrassed. It was just a lot of things that had me silent. The church silenced me. When I was younger, I grew up in a Pentecostal church. My parents have been together since I was 2. My stepdad was a part of the church originally. So once him and my mama got together, baby, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even no Sunday, we was at church. Amen. Praise God. And I thank God for that. I thank God for my experience growing up in Pentecostal church, but I also see a lot of the harm that the church did. I see a lot of unlearning I've had to do from indoctrination. Maybe is that the word? Indoctrination. I definitely still believe in God. I definitely still believe in the Bible. I don't agree with people telling lies in church for the sake of their own advancement. I'm not comfortable with and will not accept people shunning one sin over another. I'm not comfortable and will not allow people to be disrespected because of their beliefs. I'm just not okay. I'm not okay with a lot of things. Let's be any of the isms of phobics. I just can't do. I'm not there. I don't like that. That is not okay. Everybody's a human being. God placed us all here for whatever reason, and we all have a purpose for why we're here. And then it's not up to me to judge anyone's life, to judge their sexual orientation, to judge their socioeconomic status, to judge their what they do with their kudos. It ain't my job to judge, no, what they do with their money. It's just not my job to judge. But I joined social media. I've been doing content for about 5-6 years now. And it's had its ups and its downs. Mostly it's had ups for me. It may have not always be in the monetary sense of ups, but it's had its ups for me. I've been able to find my voice here. I've been able to find my tribe here. I've been able to build businesses here. I've been able to find community here. I've been able to find my voice here. I've been able to, I'm saying, just find myself, find my sexy, find a facial care routine. There's so much that has come out of me being a part of social media and me just utilizing social media as a tool. And so it's now time for me to help other women. God, this year is a year of transition for me, and God has put me in some really uncomfortable positions. One of which is I'm supposed to be speaking in front of women who don't have a voice, lost their voice, couldn't find their voice if they tried, women who's allowed relationships to take their voice, women who's allowed the church to take their voice, women who was allowed corporate to take their voice, women who's allowed being a mother to take their voice, women who's allowed just life in general, the experiences, the trauma, the wins, the losses. We've allowed those things to just snatch us from the world, and we've become recluses. And a lot of us were extroverts. A lot of us were people who were the life of the party. A lot of us are people who can walk in a room and become friends with any and everybody. But a lot of us are now uncomfortable being around people. Because one of the things we're realizing as we get older is that people are untrustworthy. People are evil. People are evil. People are not good people. Not everybody has your good interests at heart. As much as you come in with good intentions, there are some people who have no good intentions because they have no good in them. And if they do, it's so far deep within their spirit man that they couldn't find it if they tried. Not even a microscope could find it. And so I am building an offer for women who were like me and are coming out of that. And not only coming out of that, we're aligning ourselves with purpose because God gave us a message at birth, right? But the message has not come out to the people or the audience that He has asked us to speak to because we have taken our voices and silenced them. We've muted them. We have we have taken the message for ourselves and we ain't even did nothing with it. That's the biggest shit I've had. God gave us so much and we ain't did nothing with it. We sitting on so many people's blessings. And a lot of the reason that some people are still praying for the blessing is because you're the person that's supposed to bring it to them. And so for me, I'm nah, bruh. No more of that. There is no more of that. So I created something and I want to try it out, not just on myself, but if you are wanting to try it out with me. It's low key like a card game, but we're going to get into what it is. I ain't even going to tell y'all yet. I'm not even going to tell y'all yet what it is. We're just going to go through the prompts and we're just going to talk because a part of getting the message, reaching the audience, building the business is being comfortable in front of a camera, being comfortable in our own voice, trusting ourselves, trusting our intellect, trusting that our brain works, trusting that the things that we are creating and the things that we're saying have no malicious intent behind them because they are words given from God. And so it is not going to be comfortable. I want you to know, I want you to be as uncomfortable as possible right now. I need you to be as uncomfortable as possible because in comfort becomes complacency. And this year 2026 is not a year of complacency for me anymore. There are too many people's blessings. There's too many people's purpose. There's too many people's businesses. There's too many people's lives depending upon my voice. And if I continue to mute myself, if I continue to allow the world and trauma and church and embarrassment and disappointment and whatever else adjective I want to attach to it, imposter syndrome, all of those things that we want to attach to while we're not speaking, those are the things that we're going to remove because it gets in the way of purpose, it gets in the way of passion, it gets in the way of God doing the job, it gets in the way of the people ultimately. And so welcome to Her Brain Works. I often remind myself, and you'll hear me say sometimes when you hear, I'll insert clips if I can find some of my son or my cousin, or even I have my mom or my uncle saying it now. Your brain works. It's to remind people that the biggest and most important tool that God gave us was a brain of our own. And a lot of us, so many of us, especially those who are Black Americans raised in the Americas, especially in the Southern Americas, especially from the South of Georgia. We have been so conditioned to get along. Even this week is a really big week. St. Patrick's Day is the largest. We have the second largest, I think, celebration in the nation for St. Patrick's Day here in Savannah, Georgia. And I have a food truck. Come see us at 1022 East Highway 80, or you can catch us on the food truck this weekend downtown in front of the Cotton Sale in Savannah, Georgia for St. Patty's Day. So the city of Savannah is literally one of the hardest cities to run a food truck out of. I don't know if y'all just don't like our masses. I don't know what it is about food trucks, but y'all give us all the stipulations. Y'all give us all the strict timelines. Y'all give us all the strict rules. And there's no rules for yourselves or no accountability for yourselves when you hold us up from making money. There's no way a week out, I don't have a location of where I'm supposed to be, a time I can set up, how many days I'm supposed to be able to set up, what times are my inspections. Those things should literally be discussed way before. Reason being, I got to prep, I got to hire staff, I got to get food, I have to order drinks, I have to do things as a business owner to provide. And giving me 5 days to do so for an event that's 4 days and over 1 million people being in a 3-mile, 4-mile stretch is ridiculous and damn near impossible. And so I spoke out about it, even tagging the city of Savannah in the post this morning. A lot of my family members, especially the older ones, came and was like, I don't know why y'all want to kick up stuff today. Because my cousin came on the post and said some of the same things. If you also look under the post, there are other food truck owners who have struggled with the city of Savannah and have issues too. And they spoke up and said something as well. And I can't believe that I have elders who said to me, it's not the time right before an event. If it's time now, there is never going to be a time. If it's not the time now, there is never going to be a time. There's never going to be a time for me to fight for my business. There's never going to be a time for me to speak up for my business. There's never going to be a time for me to say it the right way. There's never going to be a time for you to feel comfortable in the uncomfortability of you not doing your job. And so I stood up for myself. And a lot of times I would just cower. I'd not say anything anymore. But no, why not? I'm not being rude. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm calling out what it is. You guys have dropped the ball multiple times for the sake of earning fees. That's what it looks like from the business owner standpoint. You want all our fee money, but you want to make it hard for us to make money. That's what it looks like from a business owner standpoint. And I think the food truck owners who, number one, the food industry in itself is just a struggle right now. Why is you making my life harder than what the recession already is? I'm helping you. I'm paying some taxes over here. So I say all that to say, speak up for yourself. It's the moment. It's the time. There's never a right time to say the uncomfortable thing, but there's also not a time for me to cower. I refuse to cower in the things that are wrong. I refuse to dwell in the things that are wrong. I refuse to sit in the fact that someone has wronged me and not speak up for myself. And so me teaching other women how to utilize their voices, how to know they're called, how to be able to release what you're called to release, how to be able to personify the purpose that God created for, how to unmute yourself. All of those things are things that we're going to do here. And so get ready for a bumpy ride because it's not going to always look good. It ain't going to always feel good. And we're going to go deep, baby, because the way my mind works, my brain works. You hear me? I was saying earlier, I tell people all the time, your brain works. And I say that because it really does. It's one of the biggest and most important organs that we have and we take for granted. We are so excited about ChatGPT and we are so excited about AI, but you're fine. We're so excited about ChatGPT and AI, but literally and truly, like our brains give us the space and give us the opportunity to be able to do the same things as Claude, to be able to do the same things as ChatGPT. We just have to train it, but we've been so conditioned from the church, from the government, from the school system, from all of these different things, from the propaganda we've seen, all of the things that people have told us to believe. That has been the problem because people told us what to believe and not told us how to think. People told us what to think, but not how to think. And so we have to transition our brains into a brain that actually works and that's functioning because a lot of you don't use your brains on the regular. And that's a part of the problem. You're not confident in what you have to say because your brain doesn't work on a daily basis. Sorry. I love you, friends, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm never gonna let you sit and dwell because there's so much more. God has so much more, and there's so many more people that you're supposed to touch. There's so many more people that you're supposed to reach, but that message is just still on the inside of you, and nothing's going to change if nothing happens. If there is no action, there is no change. And so, for the women who know there's a business that they're supposed to birth, for the women who know there's a message that they're supposed to birth, for the women who know there's a purpose that they're supposed to birth, if there's a for the women who knows there's a new profession they're supposed to go into and birth, whatever you're supposed to bring forth, whatever you're supposed to manifest, those things are not going to happen until you find your voice again, until you start trusting yourself. And the first step is coming here. So welcome to Her Brain Works, and I'm going to teach you guys how your brain works, how to use it, not in a way that's manipulative, not in a way that is not in a way that just confuzzles it, confuses you. I want you to trust your words. I want you to trust what you have to say. There's an adage I used to ask a lot of, and when I first got on TikTok, I would be live and I would be trying to explain something and I would ask my friends, I would ask the people around me, that makes sense? And a part of me was not even a part of me, a large part of me was so insecure with my thought process because I critically think all the time. Sometimes overanalyzing is wrong. It's not wrong, but it's not healthy. But sometimes overanalyzing helps you to ask more questions. It helps you to expand a thought. It helps you to open up another place in your brain that triggers another synapse that helps you to know something else. Basically, what's in your brain is all the things that you've learned over the course of years. And so we have to put in strategically new ways to learn new things and not over consume, not overconsume. Let's leave it there. Just not overconsume. Because with social media, we consume so much from trauma to news to love to laughter to all of these things. We just consume. So not to overconsume and overwhelm our brains, but it works. If you train it, it works. If you use it, it works. If you develop it, if you develop the skill, it works. But it doesn't work if you don't train it. It doesn't work if you don't develop the skill. It doesn't work if you don't trust yourself. And you have to trust that the message that God gave you is going to be at the pit of your tongue. The message that God gave you is going to be in the brain that works. And so I hope you guys get the message. And if this page is for you, make sure you follow, subscribe. Make sure you kick off your little dirty ass feet before you come in my room. But thank y'all for just being here with me. Thank y'all for going on this journey with me. And I hope that you get something from this. I pray that you get, I know that you will get something from this. I don't hope, I don't pray. I know you're going to get something from this, because if I don't get nothing else from myself, if y'all don't get nothing else from me, here's a reminder that your brain works. Use it.